Welcome back to the Mayorverse, everybody. Mayor Reynolds, aka Midnight Mayor here, and today we are talking about Phantom Fury, or at least the demo of Phantom Fury, which has been available on Steam since the end of Realms Deep. Of course, this is published by 3D Realms. This is the sequel to Ion Fury of sorts. As you can tell, it looks very different. Instead of being a what I normally would refer to as something like a 2.5D game, it's technically 3D, you know, with 2D sprites and so on and so forth. I just did a review, or an impressions video at least, of Ion Fury Aftershock, the new expansion that just came out for it. Check that out. This is Phantom Fury. It looks much different. This kind of resembles something like a high-res Nintendo 64 shooter, kind of like a Perfect Dark. It's much more. The models are obviously fully formed and truly 3D, I guess I should say, if that makes sense. And this is in development by a different studio than the one that did Ion Fury. Interestingly enough, there's a lot of excitement. There's obviously a lot of fans of Ion Fury, and most of the things that you came to expect from Ion Fury, as far as like weaponry, you know, the one-liners from the protagonist, so on and so forth, they're all here. For whatever reason, I definitely felt that the gunplay is clearly different because the entire, I don't want to say perspective has changed, but in a way, you move through the environments a little bit differently. This demo starts on a train, which is very, you know, a very narrow environment. A lot of Ion Fury's environments were very large scale. This was more linear, I guess you could say. There was still lots of things in the environment to interact with and little things to find, like the armor. I don't know if that was a secret, but that kind of thing. It definitely still feels like an old school FPS, but I would definitely, the gunplay didn't feel as punchy at this point of development, at least. You know, some of the enemies, even though Ion Fury had, you know, I don't want to say bullet sponge enemies, for whatever reason, Phantom Fury, the demo, everything did just kind of definitely feel a little more bullet spongy, and it was noticeable that it was like that. I don't particularly know why, you know, as you're seeing it on screen right here, why it really feels like that, but it just does. The gunplay at this point, at least, doesn't feel as good as Ion Fury, in my opinion. It's definitely still, you know, there's definitely a lot to like here. If you played Ion Fury, you'll probably, you know, here you go, you're gonna recognize the weapons. This is one of the SMGs, for example. It just, something feels slightly off. I also felt that the UI could be kind of distracting, taking up too much of the screen. Again, you're seeing the text here on screen. A tutorial hint that takes up, like, you know, 10%, 15% of the screen popping up here. It just, again, this is work in progress. It's not a finished game, but there's just some oddities to this that kind of just like, why is that there? That really jumped out at me. It didn't quite hit the way that Ion Fury did. If you're watching this video, the demo is probably down now. I understand it's being taken off Steam, but again, they're making a sequel to Ion Fury. That's great. And they're changing the way. It's not just a straight sequel. It's not just, I like that they're taking a risk and they're doing something different with the visuals, for example. I just think they definitely have a little bit more work to do if they're going to really, I don't want to say honor the legacy of Ion Fury so much, but build upon it in a way more than just being a visual overhaul. It definitely feels like an FPS of that era. It feels like an FPS, again, of like the N64 era in many ways. But it just, I feel like the gunplay and so on, it could be crisper. Everything could hit a little harder, and that comes in time, right? It's not a finished game. They've got more work to do. But with that said, guys, if you guys played the demo for Phantom Fury, let me know what you thought of it down below. Check out my video on Ion Fury Aftershock if you haven't yet, or Tempest Rising, another game from Slipgate Ironworks and 3D Realms. And thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you want more coverage of games like this, and make sure you come check out Midnight Mayor, my channel where we're focused exclusively on Dead Drop from Midnight Society, the studio co-founded by Dr. Disrespect himself. See you in the next video, guys. Thanks for watching. Mayor Reynolds out. I'm gonna let gameplay play out here for a while, and I almost forgot, for whatever reason, I felt this way to an extent about Ion Fury as well, but it seemed, again, a little bit worse, I guess, in Phantom Fury. The way you switch between guns in this feels very clunky. I can't even put my finger on why, but just switching between guns the 1 through 7 keys, and some of the numbers have multiple guns mapped to them, like you have options, which is cool. But everything just, it didn't feel nice. You know, you think of a game, for example, like Doom Eternal, where you have the weapon wheel and so on and so forth. I don't know, just the system in this, and again, look how much space on your screen it takes up when you pull it up. Just something else that jumped out at me that didn't feel good, didn't feel intuitive. Okay, now I'm gonna shut up, and now you can watch the gameplay with the full sound. Enjoy.
Gasoline. Oh, could come in handy later. Oh, you guys brought out the big guns just for me? You shouldn't have.